The man suddenly discovered that the bills in his pocket had turned into dust. He immediately realized something was wrong and quickly drove home. He grabbed a handful of money from his room, went to the window, and threw it outside. Sure enough, all the bills turned to dust before they even hit the ground. To further verify this, the man returned to the room, took Van Gogh's self-portrait, and brought it to the door. He exposed half of the painting outside the door and kept the other half inside. Sure enough, within seconds, the exposed half turned into dust. He instantly understood that all the things obtained through wishes could not leave the room. Once they left, they would instantly turn to nothing. In other words, no matter how much wealth they had, it was useless because none of it existed in the real world. To investigate the principle behind the wish room, he ignored his wife's objections, picked up a large sledgehammer, and began smashing the wall. When he finally broke through, he discovered that the entire room was surrounded by layers of complex cables. However, Jack refused to give up and began smashing other walls in the room. Sure enough, they were also wrapped in countless cables. Even the floor was completely covered. Soon, he discovered a strange drawing under a piece of wallpaper. It looked like the blueprint of the house, with dense lines representing those strange cables. As Jack tried to decipher the mystery, his wife, holding the child, prepared to leave. Jack immediately stepped forward to stop her, but he had no idea how to explain it to his wife. Seeing her silent husband, Anna still carried the child out the front door. However, Jack did not continue to block his wife's path, as he believed this might be the best fate for the child. As soon as Anna stepped out the door, the child in her arms began to cry, and his skin immediately began to change. The shoes on his feet were aging at a visible rate. Hearing his wife's desperate cries for help, the man rushed out and took the child back inside. But in just a few seconds, the infant in the cradle had turned into a 7-year-old boy. The woman finally learned the truth. If the child wanted to survive, he would have to stay in this house for the rest of his life. Seeing the boy's innocent eyes, the woman couldn't bear to tell him the truth. So, over the next few months, while caring for him even more, she also carefully fabricated a lie for the boy. You have a strange illness and cannot be exposed to the outside air. You must stay at home to be safe. The more she said this, the more curious the child became about the outside world. Eventually, leaving the room became the boy's obsession. Whenever he had the chance, he would try to escape. But fortunately, the woman always discovered him in time. Finally, she decided to seal all the doors and windows with wooden planks. In the end, the man couldn't persuade his wife, so he had to go along with her. But his worries never ceased. He even bought a handgun through the mail and secretly went to the mountains every day to practice shooting, though he wasn't sure what use it would be. In the days that followed, the couple argued more and more about the child, unaware that their son had already overheard the secret about the wish room. The next morning, Jack discovered that the crystal ball, which had been shattered, had miraculously repaired itself. Realizing something was wrong, Jack quickly notified his wife. At that moment, the lights in the house began to flicker. When the two opened the door to the wish room, they were instantly stunned by the scene before them.